What is up, my mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, and in today's video we're going to be looking at my personal top 3 favorite David Beckham fragrances. So, if that sounds good to you, let's get into the video. Quite often I will see a comment on my YouTube channel on this video or that video asking what my favorite David Beckham fragrance is and which one I would recommend for somebody on a budget. The fact of the matter is that the David Beckham lineup of fragrances, excluding some of the discontinued rarer ones to pick up nowadays, they're all very affordable. You're not going to find anything really over $40. So if you're simply looking for a quality fragrance in the David Beckham lineup, the best quality fragrances in the lineup are the 4 unisex eau de parfum scents. We've got Refined Woods, Aromatic Greens, Infinite Aqua, and Amber Breeze. All 4 of these fragrances, at least in terms of quality ingredients, are the better, more natural smelling fragrances. I'm not saying these are the ones you should pick. I'm only going to be picking one from these because I was thinking about it and I was like, do I just include 3 from this lineup? Because I could very easily do that, but it seems like a bit of a cop-out. It seems a little too easy. So if I'm only going to pick one from this lineup, I'm going to go with Refined Woods. As far as a unisex fragrance goes, this one, it offers quite a lot. The performance isn't too bad. You're looking at between 6 and 7 hours with 4 sprays. This one sits a little closer to the skin so you can overspray it a little bit and not run into any issues. On a tester strip, you get a little bit of sweetness up top, and that's going to be pretty nice for anybody that's coming over from a Lynx body spray to going from a cheap body spray to a slightly more expensive eau de toilette or eau de parfum. It's actually a little powdery, a little floral, a little sweet, but the backbone here is like this almost dense woody note. It comes across to my nose as more masculine than feminine, so if you hear unisex fragrance and you get worried that you're going to be smelling like a girl, I think this smells pretty masculine to my nose. It's almost got a pepper note here. There's like a pepperiness, a spice to this one. It smells quite nice. It's almost like a Szechuan note. Wow. It's a beautiful smelling fragrance. For a Beckham scent, the quality is good, the performance is good, and this projects better than the other Beckham scents as well. So definitely check out Refined Woods. You can pick it up at Chemist Warehouse for between $20 and $25. Recently, they've increased all the pricing for the fragrances, so what was once $20 is now typically about $25. But at Priceline, I've still seen this as low as $20. So check Priceline, check Chemist Warehouse, check eBay, do your due diligence, shop around, don't overpay somewhere where you don't have to. And that applies for any fragrance. Next up, I was gonna pick Beyond Forever because it's like almost a Dior Fahrenheit clone. It's just a little, the quality's not there, obviously. But I'm gonna go in a different direction entirely and go with David Beckham Classic Blue. Now, for about $12 to $15 Australian, this fragrance is a fantastic Nautica alternative. The Nautica fragrances have gone up in price here as well. You're paying about $20 to $25 for them, but this one comes in at about $15 Australian, and at that price point you get a fragrance that's very similar in terms of like fruitiness and freshness to Nautica Voyage Heritage, Nautica Voyage Sport. It's got a clean muskiness to it as well that reminds me of Versace Eau Fraiche. Performance for a fresh scent is surprisingly good. We're looking at around 5 hours of performance here, but you can overspray this one and you're not going to stink out a room. I never will typically go over 4 sprays with a scent just because I don't want to stink out a room, obviously. But this one should be worth checking out. It doesn't have like a harsh chemical smell that you would expect with a cheaper scent as well. It smells quite nice. I've gotten good compliments from this one. Not as many as I have with Refined Woods. But there is something about an attractive, clean, fresh fragrance that appeals to a wider audience than something a little sweeter and more woody. Although it is colder, so if you want to wear a woodier scent, go right ahead. But classic blue is a great option, especially at about that $15 price point. For the last pick, this is probably the most difficult one because immediately I wanted to go with Intimately because it's such a standard fragrance. I've been wearing this one since high school, and even to this day, it still smells good. But because I talk about this one a fair bit on the channel, like I'm sure I've spoken about this in the last couple of months, I'm gonna pick something different, something that's of an equal quality, equal attractiveness, and we're gonna go with Beckham Signature. You can still find this in a lot of the price lines around the country and on eBay. Beckham Signature is an interesting one because it's aquatic, but also has a little bit of a woodiness to it as well, and a touch of that classic blue sort of sweetness as well. It's got a classic masculinity to it. It reminds me immediately of Dunhill Desire Silver. It's a little aromatic, fresh. It's got a touch of spice to it as well. It's kind of got an almost a herbal juniper note, or an aromatic juniper note, if you will. This is so ridiculously masculine. Like, when you think of like a manly masculine fragrance, you think of something like this. It's sort of in that lineage of classic men's fragrances like Davidoff Cool Water or Dracar Noir, Ralph Lauren Safari. If you like the way men's fragrances used to smell like 30 years ago, this is going to be right up your alley. Yeah, actually, I think this is my favorite one of the bunch. Easily. I'm quite partial to Dunhill Desire Silver though. Just an incredibly attractive, masculine sort of fragrance. If you can find this one for a good price, around that $20 price point, I'd even pay upwards of like $35, $40 for this one. It smells that good. Just gonna spray it one more time because it smells that good. Yeah, this is... You get a tiny hint of alcohol in the opening, but I smelled it pretty quickly after spraying, so that's probably it. It's just an unequivocally masculine fragrance. So my pick of the bunch, easily David Beckham Signature. If you can find this for a good price, pick it up. I think it's worth at least 40 bucks. And yeah, those are my 3 picks for my favorite David Beckham fragrances. There have been a couple of new ones released that I haven't tried yet. I will have to try them and then I'll maybe redo this list. But let me know in the comments below what your favorite David Beckham fragrances are. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.